So I come here today with a bit of disappointing news, and it is definitely worth being upset about for some people, but it is not the end of the world. The Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 roster has been leaked, kind of. I mean, there's a few slots still missing, but the majority of this is actually shown off here on screen. What's disappointing is that, aside from the characters we've already gotten announced, which include, mind you, don't forget, these include Zarbon, Dodoria. No one really gives a crap about them. Timebreaker Bardock, Android 16, Cooler, Final Form Cooler if you want to count him, Goku Black, Lord Slug, Turles, Janemba, Super Gogeta. I think I probably missed a few. I don't have it right in front of me, so that's off the top of my head. But we do have this screenshot you've been looking at with all the Timebreaker characters, or Villainous, whatever they're calling them, Timebreaker or Villainous, because Timebreaker's like Timebreaker Bardock. That's very different than what these guys are. Whatever they're calling them, you know what I mean. The Villainous characters we have here, they are different slots. They are put in different character slots, which is something that in the back of my mind I feared. I feared for this, but I didn't think it would happen. But it is like this now, and I was afraid of this, and it is very disappointing. It really is. But we do still have like 14, 15 characters that are brand new, even though I guess you could say Cooler is 2 slots because he has Final Form in another slot, and Meta Cooler, of course, and Majin Vegeta. I can't forget those characters. Some people would say like, oh, they should have been there in the first place. You have to add more characters in for the sequels, and I guess they do have to save some off for Xenoverse 3 as well whenever that is released. But to have these Villainous characters pretty much filling up all of those other missing slots is disappointing, but at the same time it's just like we kind of got it hyped up that way, I guess, in a way. And I don't think many people were complaining about how many new characters there were before we saw these other slots, really. I think that's when people got disappointed, at least to my perspective. I'm sure there's people out there that were disappointed from the get-go, but I'm still pretty satisfied with the 15 or so characters we get that are brand new. I think that Xenoverse 1 already had a pretty solid roster with obviously some pretty serious omissions, but the fact that the characters do feel so different, and even in this game they look like they feel even more different. A lot of the characters that were in the base game look like they have some reworked combos as well. So I think it is going to be a really nice roster still, even though we are obviously being a little disappointed with this. It's very weird. We even got Great Saiyaman in his own slot now instead of a variation on Gohan. So I'm hoping, future Gohan as well as a new character, I'm hoping that the Great Saiyaman has different combos than Gohan does. And I would really like to see those Timebreaker or Villainous characters have different combos as well. I doubt it. They'll probably have different special attacks, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's not the end of the world. Remember, gameplay is what matters most, and this game looks like it's delivering for the people that enjoy the first game. If you didn't like the first game, well, this isn't really going to change your mind, probably. It might. I haven't played it to tell you how different it is, but there's going to be people on this video bitching about, oh, I hate Xenoverse. Bring back Raging Blast. Raging Blast is never coming back. But if you like the first game, you're going to like this one. I'm pretty sure of it. If you didn't like the first game or you thought it was okay, maybe you will like this one. But if you're just here to hate on the game, then go away. But if you're here to talk about the roster and, you know, say you're disappointed, that's fine. Just know it's not the end of the world. In a video game, and especially a fighting game, the core gameplay is what matters most. And we're still getting, like, what, over 70 characters? That's still pretty insane for a fighting game, and this has a lot more depth than a lot of other Dragon Ball games, with, you know, aside from things like Burst Limit and maybe Budokai. So I don't really think it's that bad, and I just want to let people know that it's not the end of the world. I think the gameplay is going to be fantastic. It looks like a big improvement over the first game, and I love the first game. I think all the stuff in Kanton City, all the sandbox and open world elements we're getting, all these parallel quests. Remember, we're getting, what was it? We're getting twice the amount of parallel quests, remember? Something like that. Remember that. That is a big number. That's a lot of content to go off of. Not to mention the story mode, however long that's going to be. Just, the game's going to be fine. We're going to get DLC. Yes, you'll have to pay for it, and there'll be some super characters, I'm sure. Maybe some more movie characters. We don't have BoJack, who I completely forgot about because, quite honestly, BoJack's not even really that cool in my opinion. It was really what Gohan did to BoJack, I think, is what people remembered him for. They gotta leave stuff for the third game, of course, and if that's what they're doing, that's fine. Just know that it's fine. The game's gonna be great. I'm still getting it. Just hold your horses. But other than that, voice your opinion. Let me know down below. Dino did a video on this as well, and he says, you know, when they let us do feedback, he's going to do his damnedest to get the word out. So go check out his video, get more info on that. But, you know, if you want feedback, wait for them to release feedback tools, and we'll move on from there for the game. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, I'm not trying to defend the game and saying it's perfectly okay that they have all these different slots. I'm just saying it's not going to ruin it. It's not the end of the world because of a character roster. That's silly. They already have some pretty big characters. They're not really missing too many major things in my opinion. So, you know, whatever. Aside from like Buhan, I guess. Whatever. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.